Chapter 1: The Transport. The grumbling engine of a transport bus fills the air, mingling with the distant clang of metal cell doors and the shuffling of feet on concrete. Narration. The first jolting bump wakes me from my restless thoughts, one inmate begins. I can feel my heart racing as the bus lurches toward its destination. We are a collection of lost souls, each carrying the weight of our mistakes, stolen from our lives and thrust into the unknown. A chorus of anxious voices interject, sharing fragmented confessions. This is the moment where each of their identities begins to dissolve. The sharp staccato of heavy boots walking along the bus aisle intensifies their uncertainty. As the heavy doors swing open, a bitter gust of wind sweeps in, a reminder that freedom is now a distant memory. "I'm scared," another inmate whispers, "but I know it's time to face the truth behind these walls." This chapter sets the stage for what lies ahead, a journey into their new reality. Chapter 2: Stripped of Identity. A soft, haunting echo of footsteps on concrete, mixed with the distant buzz of fluorescent lights flickering above. As the heavy iron doors of the processing area close behind them, the reality of prison descends like a thick fog. Inmates reflect on the disorienting loss of their identities, a forced shedding of the lives they once led. "I was just a dad," one man recalls, his voice trembling. "Now, I'm just a number." Another recounts the moment he lost his name, replaced by the harsh label of inmate. Longing lingers in their voices as they share glimpses of the worlds they left behind, the laughter of children, the warmth of loved ones, and the dreams now fading. This chapter captures the stark contrast of freedom and confinement, illustrating how these men grapple with their shattered identities while yearning for a sense of self amidst the anonymity of cell blocks. Each story is a powerful reminder of the human cost of incarceration. Chapter 3: Entering the Unknown. Soundscape: the echo of heavy boots on concrete, distant shouts of guards, and the murmur of inmates filling the air. As the gates clank open, a sense of foreboding envelops the new arrivals. John, a young inmate from the city, describes his first full day. "It felt like a cold slap in the face, waking up in a place where nothing is familiar. The walls close in, and the reality hits hard." He recounts the startling routine, from roll call to meal times, marked by monotonous gruel. For many, this first day is a crash course in survival. Friendships are forged out of necessity, while divisions based on past affiliations run deep. Andrew, a seasoned inmate, reflects on the irony. You enter alone, but you leave a part of yourself behind. The sounds of metal trays clattering against each other resonate in the background, accentuating the disarray and confusion of this new existence, as they struggle to comprehend their new harsh reality. Chapter 4: The Barriers of Isolation. The heavy clang of cell doors slamming shut, droning fluorescent lights, and the muffled sounds of distant conversations echo through the corridors. Upon entering the prison system, inmates confront a stark reality, the physical and emotional isolation that encapsulates them. As one inmate shares, "The walls felt like they were closing in. I was no longer the person I thought I was." Stripped of their identities, they grapple with the disconnection from their loved ones, feels like a lifeline severed. Phone calls become rare heartbeats in a void, with many recounting the pang of silence that accompanies missed birthdays and family events. Moments spent alone in their cells amplify feelings of loneliness, where shadows of the past linger uninvited. Yet within this solitude, some discover glimmers of resolve, the determination to forge a path towards self-discovery. As they adjust to their new surroundings, they learn that survival here isn't just about enduring. It's about finding ways to feel alive amidst the isolation. Chapter 5: Routine in Repetition. The clattering of metal trays, muffled conversations, and the distant echo of footsteps through a corridor. As dawn breaks, the prison comes alive with the stark sound of early morning routines. Inmates shuffle into the cafeteria, trays clattering against each other as they line up for their meals. Describing the monotony of breakfast, one inmate shares, "You get used to the same slop every day, but you learn to savor the little things, like a hot cup of coffee." Conversations swirl around him, fractured exchanges filled with laughter and bitterness as day-to-day conflicts arise. Here, rivalries can ignite over a misplaced tray, tensions palpable in the air. The sense of urgency in meal lines mirrors the unrelenting weight of time behind bars, each second stretching into eternity. Amid the chaos, small glimpses of humanity peek through, someone offering an extra piece of bread or sharing whispers of dreams beyond these walls. Yet the reality remains. Routine is both a comfort and a prison in itself. Chapter 6: Moments of Humanity. The clinking of metal trays, muffled laughter, and the distant sound of a basketball bouncing. Narration. In the midst of the sterile, cold environment of the cafeteria, small flickers of humanity emerge. A hand passes a slice of bread to a fellow inmate who is struggling to find enough to eat. Two inmates share a laugh over a poorly executed card trick, their laughter echoing against the walls, momentarily breaking the oppressive silence. Amid routine chaos, acts of kindness ripple through the day-to-day grind. As they sit together at the metal tables, they talk candidly about their pasts, offering support and a listening ear. One inmate recalls a time when he shared his sketchbook, letting another find solace in art. These moments, though fleeting, build a sense of community, a fragile bond formed from experiences of pain and hope. In this world where despair often reigns, these shared moments of solidarity and compassion bloom like wildflowers through concrete. Chapter 7: Struggling with Regret. The distant echo of metal chairs scraping against concrete, the soft sighs of inmates, and the murmur of voices in quiet reflection. Narration. Regret weighs heavy within these walls, a burden that many inmates carry like a second skin. As they sit in the dim light of the common area, each shares pieces of their past, fragments that haunt their waking moments and invade their dreams. One inmate recalls his last encounter with his son, the anger of a moment that cost him years, while another reflects on a life wasted in gang violence, remorse twisting in their stomach like a serpent. Through art and writing, they seek to express what words cannot fully capture. Some find solace in painting, creating vibrant images that contrast with the gray walls surrounding them. Others journal their thoughts, attempting to make sense of their choices. These moments of vulnerability reveal not just regret, but the raw desire for understanding, healing, and ultimately, forgiveness. Chapter 8: Finding Kindred Spirit. Soundscape. The distant thump of a basketball bouncing, the murmur of voices overlapping in laughter, and the rustle of workout clothes. As the sun sets over the prison yard, the harshness of confinement fades, replaced by the warmth of newfound camaraderie. Inmates share stories of unexpected friendships that emerged from the unforgiving walls. One inmate, a former gang member, recounts meeting a rival in the gym, where they bonded over shared struggles and dreams of redemption. "I never thought I'd call him a friend," he reflects. "We realized we had more in common than we thought." Another inmate shares a story of finding solace in group activities, where laughter and teamwork transcended the barriers of their past. Through basketball games and joint projects, these men forge connections that nourish their spirits and redefine their identities. In a place designed to isolate, they discover that friendship can be the strongest lifeline, a beacon of hope illuminating their darkened paths. Chapter 9: Mentoring Dynamics. Soundscape. Ambient sounds of a workout area, weights clanging, muffled laughter, and supportive conversation. Within the confines of the prison, unexpected bonds flourish, often transforming rivals into allies. Inmates share stories of mentorship, where hardened ex-gang members step forward to guide younger individuals who have lost their way. One inmate reflects, "I never thought a guy from my old crew would help me find my focus." As they engage in weightlifting sessions, they discuss dreams that extend beyond prison walls, exchanging life lessons shaped by hardship. Tendencies to revert to old ways lessen as they become role models for one another, embodying principles of respect and empathy. Together, these men forge a collective identity rooted in growth and support, establishing a brotherhood that defies social divides. The power of mentorship becomes a pivotal theme, illustrating that even in the darkest environments, guidance and encouragement can illuminate the path to personal redemption. Vulnerability and trust. The distant sound of laughter mixed with quiet conversations, soft footsteps on concrete, and the rustle of paper as inmates gather in a communal area. In the heart of the prison, Where walls close in and emotions run high, inmates begin to shed their rigid facades. They recount moments of raw vulnerability that forge deep connections. Here, amid shared fears and dreams, rival gang members confide in one another, revealing their hopes for a better life. One inmate recalls a late-night conversation with a fellow prisoner about lost family. Tears shared in the dark strengthen their bond. Another speaks of how they find solace in sharing their poetry, allowing a glimpse into their raw emotions. These moments of openness cultivate trust, reminding them that beneath the surface, they share a common humanity, an understanding that transforms their relationships from mere survival to a source of strength and support. In this harsh environment, vulnerability becomes a lifeline, weaving a tapestry of resilience and companionship. Chapter 11, Inner Battles, Soundscape. The low murmur of voices in a group circle, a pencil scratching against paper, the distant sound of a basketball bouncing in the yard. As the sun sets behind the prison walls, inmates gather in small groups, engaging in deep conversations about their pasts. Here, one inmate shares a poignant memory, the moment he realized the weight of his actions and the pain they caused. Every day I replay the mistakes I've made, he reflects, his voice heavy with regret. Another inmate joins, recounting his struggle to forgive himself while grasping for a semblance of hope. Redemption isn't easy, it's a daily battle, he adds softly. The tension is palpable as they discuss the haunting shadows of guilt and the longing for absolution. Yet amidst the darkness, there is a flicker of hope, stories of finding purpose through education, art, and helping others learn from their mistakes. These shared struggles highlight an essential truth. The road to redemption starts from within. Chapter 12, Hopes for Tomorrow. Faint sounds of birds chirping, a gentle breeze rustling leaves, and distant conversations punctuated by laughter. As the sun rises, inmates gather for group therapy sessions, sharing their dreams of life beyond these walls. Alex, a painter, speaks of plans to exhibit his artwork, each brushstroke a reflection of his journey from darkness to light. Maria dreams of reuniting with her children and rebuilding the trust lost during her incarceration. Meanwhile, James shares his aspirations to start a nonprofit aimed at helping at-risk youth, inspired by the friendships he forged within these walls. Their voices intertwine, echoing a shared yearning for connection and redemption. As they express their hopes, the atmosphere shifts. A subtle transformation occurs. Even in confinement, they clutch onto the vision of freedom as a tangible goal, each dream a stepping stone towards reclaiming their identities and mending broken ties with the loved ones they've left behind. Chapter 13, Moments of Decision. The faint rustle of papers, hushed whispers, and the echo of footsteps as inmates await their turn. The atmosphere is thick with anticipation, punctuated by the sporadic sounds of a gavel striking and the shuffle of correctional officers. As the day unfolds, the air in the prison shifts, a palpable tension filling the corridors. Inmates sit in the hearing room, hearts pounding in unison, grasping at the possibility of a second chance. Their minds swirl with hopes and fears, memories of family, dreams deferred, and the weight of past decisions. James, a young man with tattooed fingers, recalls the moments leading to his sentencing, now yearning for redemption. Across the room, Maria reflects on the sacrifices made by her mother, who has waited years for this moment of reckoning. Each face tells a story of longing, where the stakes are high and the outcomes uncertain, a moment that could redefine their lives forever.